No, okay. Yeah, we'll leave it. Even if you just want to get her. Yeah. Without a contract. Yeah, she did pretty good. So,
How are you? Doing well, thank you. Nate's here. Garen text said he was in court in Judge Mancini's James. He'll be down. Oh,
Less than unique.
yeah. I'd like to call over the Beaver County Board of Commissioners work session for Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. Review of work session discussion meeting minutes. All right, question change none. Department head report. Department head report. Dan.
I've got stuff, I give everyone a chance, but. Some good news, the Victory House porch and roof project is complete. Got a meeting there today at 3 o'clock with the architect, engineer, and the contractor to do a final walkthrough on that. So hopefully everything's okay with that and we're done. Human Service Building, folks started to move in there, but every day something else comes up that there's an issue. So we're still dealing with the Human Service Building. Unfortunately, we're back to the generator, the emergency generator. There's a radiator leak in it, same as the water pump. We can't get a new radiator for it. We're gonna have to send it out to be repaired and rebuilt, and that could take anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. So without a radiator, obviously we don't have an emergency backup generator. So that's, I don't know if I can reach out to, I don't know if there's a time it's better or worse to have an emergency backup generator out of service, but it's where we're at, it's what we're gonna have to do. And again, we'll talk.
Not with the heat, power surges and everything that's going on right now. Have you costed out a replacement like we talked about? What?
I tried, and I'm hitting roadblocks with that as well. Because we're going from, we'd like to go from 2 to 1 larger generator to power everything up. It's gonna require engineered specs, for people to look at, to be able to give a solid budgetary, quote. Did reach out to Whitmer Engineering. They don't handle things like that. So then I reached out to Ned Mitrovich at LSSE, and they can do it, but I want to discuss this with you folks first to see how we want to proceed. Now, obviously, it's going to cost us some money to spend some money. That's all I have.
Did the letters go out, the contact for the people on the parking garage closure?
Last Thursday, I went around the neighborhood door to door, was able to speak to several of the neighbors. No answer at the door, so letters were sent out.
Okay. Let us know. I'm sure you will if there's any issues from the residents.
There's still cones in the parking garage.
It was just brought to my attention. I'm not aware of anything. I haven't heard anything from the contractor since that. The only thing that I'm thinking is maybe they found something, that there's a reason they blocked off some spots. I was just informed that people are parking there anyway. But again, no one informed me of any issues or anything like that, so I will reach out to them.
Any questions? Sorry, you got anything else?
No, thank you.
Any questions for Dan? Any other department head report?
Just passing along the unofficial thank you. You will formally get a thank you from the Professional Recyclers of Pennsylvania. A large group was out last week and we held a field practicum compost site tour, and the response was overwhelmingly positive. They hadn't had an opportunity to get into the compost and do field exercises, so I received a lot of positive feedback, and they wanted me to pass on to the board as well. You know, thank you for the use of the facility. It was extremely complimentary, both on the long-term commitment to having it there and the staff and everyone getting the opportunity to get out there and do some actual field work. October 4th is going to be Beaver County's HHW event. We are receiving a lot of calls with folks who want to get registered for the slots for the event. Registration is not yet open, so I just want to publicly let everyone know that when it is available, it will be on www.prc.org. And I would anticipate that that will come sometime here in August, maybe late in August, early in September. I know I've probably heard me say this every year that I've been here. It has grown since I started working for the county considerably, and we do in fact fill almost all of our slots way before the deadline. So I just encourage people to call PRC or to check the website and get in as soon as the slots are available. We try to service as many people as we can that day during that 4-hour duration. Other than that, just to update the board, the county's garbage contract will be coming up for renewal here in October. My recommendation to the board, as long as I have your blessing, will be to opt into optional year 1 with Bruner disposal for our garbage contract for all of the county facilities. So I will, with your blessing, prepare a resolution request to do so. That contract will be set to renew early October, so that'll need to come through here in the next month or so. That's all I have.
Good. Thank you. Any other department head report? Hearing now, we'll move to solicitors.
Remember Corey was in last week. I know this seems a little bit early, but for his purposes, he likes to try to get things lined up for budget stuff as far as various meetings that he has with department heads and internally. He was sort of asking a timeline on when we're looking at doing budget voting meetings in the months of October and November. I spoke with Stacy about it, and again, this is our thoughts, but this isn't anything set in stone. The thought was if we would do November 20th as the voting meeting in November, which would allow for a preliminary budget advertisement, and then vote on the budget at a December 18th meeting, holding one voting meeting in both of those months. The way the spacing works out, that keeps approximately about 3 weeks between the end of October and then the beginning of November for meetings. We certainly could do other dates, but what that would do is it's going to create a little bit larger gaps at some point in time if we only hold one meeting in November and December for voting purposes, which is what we generally do.
So you have to be on display for 20 days?
Correct, yeah. So if we would do it on November 20th, that would leave us enough time if we had our voting meeting on December 18th. So unless there's any objection to those 2 dates, I think that's sort of what we're shooting for, which in speaking with Corey, he said that would work with him. And from Stacy's perspective, that would work for her as well. So.
Yeah, I'm good with those dates. I saw when you sent us the email. I checked.
All right, the other items that I have are personnel matters for executive session.
Any questions for the solicitors? Moving forward to commissioners.
We got a letter concerning the Alacopa East Gateway Interchange meeting, direct meeting, where I guess they have some issues that they have to address, and we got invited along with some other people to a meeting. It's going to be August 5th, 5:30 to 7 at the Alacopa Junior High.
That's on my schedule.
Got it, okay, good.
They contact, I think I was like the third letter I got from.
Yeah.
I think they want to make sure we're there.
Yeah, I think so. That's all I had today.
Commissioner May?
A couple of things. We started the Beaver County Hazard Mitigation Plan annual review yesterday down at the 911 center. I know Eric and Dan was there and Sophie. as well. That's an annual review that we do of natural disasters and human-caused hazards, from flooding to storms to road collapses, all those things. I'd like to get an update on those things. They also invite each municipality that has a particular issue in their municipality to forward those things together as well. I don't know, Eric or Dan, would you have anything to add on that? Usually it's difficult for us to pull stuff from the municipalities as part of this plan. They want to be insured if they want to be covered with PEMA and FEMA funds going forward for some of these things. It helps if they sign off on this plan and be part of it, so.
I guess, so with that, we would like a better showing, especially because we had landslides and other things going on now,
Yeah.
weather-wise, but we gotta get municipalities there, because this is, if there is a presidential elect declaration, if they don't have a project identified, they're not getting, won't get funded, so.
Yeah.
We need municipalities to come to this to say, hey, we need this money, it may never happen, if it does, and money get freed up, that's how it gets paid.
Yeah, there were 6 or 7 of them there yesterday, but we've got 53.5 municipalities, so we're a little short on that. But it was good. And certainly we've seen an increase in the rain and the flooding and the road collapses and some of the windstorms that we've had recently. So we got a lot of trees and a lot of roads that are in peril. But, the only other thing is I saw yesterday, kind of under the radar screen, but Norfolk Southern and Union Pacific are doing an $85 billion merger, which I found interesting. Norfolk Southern was bragging about their safety record and the write-up that went out. A little bit of hypocrisy there, but the combined, the two of them will control 43% of all the freight traffic in the country. So it'll be interesting to see if that's approved. That's a pretty good monopoly on freight movement from East Coast to West Coast. But I thought that was an interesting merger in timing for stuff that's going on. I also sat in on a webinar the other evening that the Farm Bureau, the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau, put together on H-2B visas, the visa process for farm workers. And I am still amazed that any farmer can get through that process and get any labor into the country to work that. Those visas are only good for 10 months. They won't extend them. And there's so much that, like, you spell a name wrong or anything, they will come and yank those folks out from under you. So it's a difficult process. We have an awful lot of farms here in Beaver County, Western PA, that are highly dependent on immigrant labor because no one else is willing to milk cows at 4 a.m. or pick tomatoes or lettuce at 4 p.m.
Why are you gonna do it twice a day?
The 4 a.m. we get me, the 4 p.m. But yeah, twice a day, the milking and stuff. It's some of these sustainable farms are a year-round operation. They raise their own hay, feed the cows, milk the cows, send off for the cheese, the ice cream, and everything else that comes from those products. So dairy farms particularly are really hurting. But it was a fascinating webinar to sit through and understand what was going on at the immigration level. So, and there's wage controls as well. They want to make sure that whatever they're paying them, it's like a prevailing wage, and if they go higher than that, it could offset other prevailing wages. And I know most of these guys are paying $20 an hour, and they still can't get enough people to work the farms. But it's just a little aside, interesting event that they attended. That's it.
Any other business? Audience participation? Audience participation.
Mr. Camp, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, I believe, the Beaver's Hot Summer Nights Car Cruise is this weekend, it's Saturday.
Yes.
Just, an FYI, we will have our staff go around and caution pave and put barricades up. Block the whole parking lot. Yeah, out of the parking lot, off the grass.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I had to yell, "Get off my lawn." Just people that drove. They said it was their lawn. I said, okay,
It's the people's lawn, but you still can't park your cars on it.
All right, no audience, oh, sorry, back up.
Just one announcement, one thing I would like to bring to everyone's attention, that we have a lot of folks who come and visit us at the recycling center who use what they look at as the green and yellow bins. The green and yellow mixed paper bins that are all over the county. And there seems to be a bit of a misconception, that the Board of Commissioners or my office is responsible for the green and yellow bins. Why aren't we picking up the green and yellow bins? We're receiving a lot of inquiry as to why those bins are overfilled community-wide. I just want to let everyone know that those bins are hauled by a private hauler out of Glassport, PA. So the recycling center and the Board of Commissioners does not have any responsibility to empty those bins. We have in the past mitigated some overflow with my staff to take care of it for the folks who use the recycling center. But it has been said quite often during the last couple of weeks that, you know, we're going to contact the Board of Commissioners because these bins aren't being emptied across the county. So I just want to let everyone know that is not in fact that is in fact a private hauler. That's not a county responsibility to be emptying those bins. So I'm happy to give them the names and the numbers of the folks at that facility if they would like to get in touch, so you can refer them to me.
A lot of those are disappearing. And my understanding is there's pretty much a glut, particularly with the paper recycling, and they can't handle anymore. I mean, is that true or not? 'Cause there used to be a lot more of those around different municipalities, Bridgewater, different places, and they've all kind of disappeared.
So a lot of them have scaled back because the reliability of that particular hauler is not great.
Sporadic, okay.
At best. And sometimes the communities don't want to keep them there because of the fact that they are getting dumped on things outside of the mixed paper. And the hauler is not tremendously reliable. We were unable to have it pick up the last time, and we mitigated the circumstance, but the county owns the appropriate equipment to do that. Not all communities do. When you talk to them, they tell you the truck is down, or that they can't keep the drivers employed, or there's usually a long litany of things for the reason why they're not being promptly picked up. But we have struggled with them since I've been here. My understanding is there's a long history of that. I think to your point, sometimes communities get tired of dealing with that and just tell them to get rid of the bins, yeah. But no, the paperwork is actually up. So.
Good.
Yeah, cardboard and paper.
Thank you. Any other audience participation? Hearing none, we'll move into executive session. Thank you.